Am I the only one starting to feel like Baddies has ran its course? Like, it's starting to get boring now. Episode 3, of course, we got to see Rolly and Diamond fight, which they fought and then made up and had a conversation after the fight. If y'all were going to have a conversation, if y'all were there to converse, y'all should have just did that. Why y'all fought, I don't know. That was silly, but the whole thing is starting it's starting to just seem like they just trying to just start anything with anybody just to keep the motion of the show going at this point. It's not having the same effect, and to be honest, I don't know how much longer the show is going to last or how much longer I'm going to continue to watch it, because if y'all going to keep having the same scenario with different people over and over every week, I'm not here for that. I'll just catch up on the end when they do the reunion. Now, let's talk about Ivory for a second, because y'all know I said Natalie should have never invited a girl like Ivory on that show, but she did, and now we're here. So she's already overdoing it, trying to fight that girl in that teeny tiny sprinter where it was no space. Like, the fact that that girl had to rumble so many different people on that sprinter ride was crazy. And this was the most vocal I've ever heard the security team ever be, because I feel like I never hear them ever. But they were trying to keep the girls under control, and they was moving seats, playing musical chairs, and just doing all types of stuff to try to prevent the girls from fighting, and it did not work. But I thought it was so funny that the girl that had all the fights, they dropped her off in the house. She's still in there talking trash. Like, girl, you in here by yourself at this point. Like, why are you having this whole entire puppet show talking to yourself when it's literally nobody in here? Thought that was weird, but whatever. Anna is getting on my nerves because she's crying out to Biggie to protect her when Biggie can't even protect herself. Like, what do you want from this girl? One thing has been consistent since she came on Baddies. She's a punk. What do you want her to do? I don't get what you want her to do, something that she's not even willing to do for herself. Like, that be the delusion that I be talking about when it come to people having unrealistic friendship requests. Like, you're asking her to fight and she's not a fighter. You're literally trying to bring someone else out of her, turn her into a different person. If you don't like how she roll, if you don't like the fact that she's a punk, do not hang with her. It's as simple as that. If somebody is your friend, you accept them for who they are. Like, your friend that you know is not a fighter, you don't call them when people pull up in front of your door. You're asking for it. You're asking for a heartbreak if you're asking for this person that doesn't fight to step up to the plate for you. It's not going to happen. You call them when it's time for y'all to go to knitting class, or when it's time for y'all to, do little casual things. Like, sit down, have a glass of wine, go on a trip. That's why you have different sets of friends for different things. You call your ratchet friends when it's time to fight. They're the ones that's going to pull up, not the punks. And don't get me wrong, it is nothing wrong with being a punk. Punks stay alive. But it's just too much. All of these unrealistic expectations for people after you get to know them and know certain characteristics and traits about them. Like, call them for what you know they're known for or what they do. Now, as a punk, you shouldn't put yourself in certain environments. Like, I don't think Baddies is a good environment for a punk. But, hey, maybe she's there for special effects and to get slapped around. Because somebody got to get beat up, Everybody serves their purpose. But I hate where the show is going so far. It's really boring. They waste a lot of time on one topic when they could be going to the next topic or going to the next scene. It's too many girls on the show for them to be wasting so much time on stuff that's not really connecting to nothing. Like, if this story is not going to meet up with something that happens in the later episodes, what are we doing? Why are we wasting this much time? Like, if they're not fighting, if the argument they really ain't saying nothing spectacular, why are we wasting so much time on this? Unless they plan on having like a 25 episode season or something like that, I don't think it's going to be enough time to divide it between all the girls or getting to know all the girls that they have on there this season. But I guess we're going to have to wait and sit back and see how they spend it. How did y'all feel about last night's episode? Because for me, I'm getting to the point where I'm ready to just fast forward to the reunion, check out the recap.